Valley Prison in Indiana contains a super maximum security unit. Some of the state's most ruthless and dangerous prisoners are housed here. For its 2,200 inmates, the reality of life inside this prison is hard time. Drugs are a major problem in many American prisons, and Wabash Valley is no exception.
The drug trafficking is probably the biggest thing, maybe second only to extortions and gang activities of that nature.
But inmates need help to smuggle drugs in, and it's not just visitors that are involved.
Good morning.
Hi, Alan. How you doing?
Not bad. Anything happen here?
Yeah, we're just quite busy.
To combat the drug problem, Internal Affairs Chief Don Tyler is in constant contact with the head of the intelligence unit, Alan Finnan.
Friday evening, we arrested one of our correctional officers on a Class A felony, possession with intent to deliver cocaine, and a Class C felony, trafficking with an inmate. Something's been going on for about a year. I'll give you some names later on, and if you'll start running them through your security threat group, we'll see if any of the people he was been involved with was anybody that you've been involved with.
Okay.
At any time, staff can be subjected to random searches as they enter the facility, but that doesn't dissuade all of them.
They will smash marijuana in a plastic bag and put it in their socks, in their shoes. They will tape it to their upper thigh area, very close, very tight areas in which sometimes searches aren't conducted as they should be done. They have been found to have placed marijuana and such in Coke cans and soft drink cans. The top has been broken off, the contents has been emptied out, and the controlled substances, marijuana and such, have been placed inside the cans. We've had it in sandwich bags and even between slices of bread.
And it's not just internal security measures that are used to stop the drug flow. The Internal Affairs Unit also works closely with the Indiana State Police when they have a target in their sights.
Tyler, may I help you? You got both VPs open? Oh, shit. Okay, I know that, but nobody told me that from the beginning.
A drug sting operation is underway, and nerves are becoming frayed.
All right, find out for me, call me back.
Detective Darrell Bomer from the Indiana State Police is present.
Hey, do we have to have both VPs open?
No, we don't.
Good. Close VP4, would you please? I didn't know they were going to use both VPs.
Well, Craig, but I'll do that. I'll take
Okay, buddy. Oh, goodbye.
And that way we can limit access to dumping locations once they get in.
Yeah, see, what we're concerned about, Harley, is if these people, these targets come in and they get spooked for some reason or another and head for a bathroom, if we got them only going one direction, which is VP3 only, which is the biggest area, where they can be contained and brought back here, that's what we're trying to accomplish. Thank you very much.
Yeah, VP3 closed. Bye.
This is an investigation where this office learned from an offender inside the facility that another offender had a visitor coming on a pretty consistent basis bringing drugs in. We've learned that today she may be bringing in approximately 6 ounces of marijuana and 200 hits of acid. We've obtained a search warrant, and upon her arrival here, we're going to have the Indiana State Police assist us search this subject. While we're doing the search, we're going to have a canine unit circle the vehicle and attempt to detect if there's any narcotics in the vehicle. Hey, bud, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Detective Gary Hoskins completes the search team.
So far, after getting the search warrant yesterday, I appreciate your help on that. We've got some key personnel stationed at the facility. Have a female officer out at Gate 1 that can identify this lady. We've got a female officer at the visiting process that can identify her. When they get here, they're going to let me know she's coming through the gate. I want to see where she parks. I'm going to notify the K-9 unit. He's going to come through and head for the car. Then we was going to get up and walk in there. I would like very much for them to sign in with an intent to get into this place, not just coming along to visit.
That's good.
Once they're signing in with the intent, then I was going to walk up to them and tell them, you know, I'm Don Tyler, Internal Affairs. This is Investigator Hoskins, Indiana State Police. We would like to speak with you for a moment. You take it with your search warrant from that point. Him and I'll take the other two and bring them back up here. Is that okay
That
with
work.
you?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Okie dokie.
That's just waiting in.
Okay.
Okay. Wait till we get there. Tyler, may I help you? Yes. Okay, and is she driving? The Silver Saab. Okay.
86, 81.
And the southeast parking lot.
Okay, they're inside. They're on the lot.
No, I got it. Thank you much.
There's a green gal in a green coat walking in. She's parked over about the 5th or 6th row.
I wanted to be able to sign that book.
The drug courier has arrived at the visiting processing area, and the bust is about to begin.
Hi, Mary. Mary Goodall.
Yeah.
My name's Don Tyler. I'm Internal Affairs. This is Investigator Gary Hoskins with the Indiana State Police. He'd like to speak to you.
Sure.
Okay, you want to come over here for just a second? Issued by the Sullivan Circuit Court is a search warrant. You are authorized and ordered in the name of the state of Indiana with the necessary and proper assistance to search the person of Mary. How do you pronounce your last name?
Gerardo.
Gerardo, white female. Is that your social security number?
Yeah.
And your date of birth? This is your copy. Okay? Now over here I have a female police officer with the state police.
Fine.
And you need to go with her.
I'm going to send an officer.
And now she's with the state police officer and a female officer from the Department of Corrections. They're going to conduct a search of her person for illegal controlled substances.
Marijuana. Tobacco.
That is marijuana.
She said her doing is marijuana. You just
So that you can get hooked up, and then that way you won't be in there. You keep an eye on them.
Tobacco and $500 worth of marijuana have been discovered in Mary Gerardo's underwear.
There's supposed to be money hidden inside this picture. And when you sign this in down the bottom, 2 people have to count it. $725 in cash was hidden in the picture. Then in the glove we got, looks like a rubber glove with marijuana and maybe tobacco. We don't open that up until we get to the post where we can do it properly.
I ain't talking.
Mary Gerardo is charged with possession of marijuana and conspiracy to traffic drugs.
I believe.
Gerardo is now under arrest and leaves for arraignment at the county jail.
We've got some joints already rolled up, some roaches, some burned marijuana, and some loose marijuana in there, plus some smoking papers. Troy, do you have an evidence bag? She's looking at felony possession of marijuana, and there's also, I believe, a Class C felony for if we can prove the trafficking, the intent to traffic. She has several arrests for shoplifting, criminal conversion, which is a minor theft. We also learned that you just recently, within the last week, been arrested in Fort Wayne for possession of marijuana. Seemed to be quite a large amount of cash here. 480 plus, haven't counted the ones yet. We'll get this big bills bagged and then before the wind gets us.
Usually something will go wrong. This went extremely well. The visitor showed up on time. Everyone was ready to do their part, and it worked out perfect, really.
We can write the scripts, but they don't always follow them. So there's generally some bumps in the road, and you just kind of go with the flow and work it out. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it doesn't.
We had good information, and we followed up on it, and she got caught.
In every prison, there are some offenders whose criminal acts are associated with mental illness. In the past, these people may have been committed to mental institutions. But in Indiana, as more and more of these facilities close, prisons like Wabash Valley are having to accommodate increasing numbers of mentally ill inmates. These prisoners are housed in a special psych unit, K House.
No one has ever considered that they might be mentally ill before, in most cases. They've just been treated as offenders. They've been treated as criminals when they were on the streets, so forth and so on. They're just, bad people, so to speak, and nobody considered that they might be ill as well. Once we decided that treating that mental illness could allow them to follow the rules, this unit was designed to help achieve that.
For these inmates, the journey back to mental health won't be an easy one. But the psych unit aims to stabilize each of their conditions within 2.5 years so they can return to the general prison population.
I think it's the best thing that's happened to this prison. I think every prison ought to have something like this because you've got people that won't survive in population without this.
Sure. Which class? And arts and crafts.
Some inmates, like Philip Sullivan, don't believe they should be in the psych unit at all.
I was just diagnosed that I was mentally ill because I said I heard Jesus Christ was going to set me free from prison. And they diagnosed me as hearing voices. They don't believe in Jesus Christ. I've been with these inmates for almost 16 years or more. These inmates ain't schizophrenic, they ain't paranoid, they're just drug addicts. I have a degree in drug counseling. I've been counseling, I used to counsel cancer patients as a baby. I left home at age 5, with my brother. I worked cancer houses. At 5 years of age, when I went to school, I used to hide my umbilical cord as a baby and wore Pampers.
His diagnosis is not as clear at this point. There's some delusional, he's heavily delusional.
No, I'm not delusional. I'm not a Charles Manson or Tex Watson. I'm not a schizophrenic paranoid. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not crazy.
Release the phase 2s.
The most common tool used by the psych unit to stabilize these mentally ill prisoners is medication. The inmates are given psychotropic drugs 4 times a day to treat their specific illnesses.
C. Let's go for F.
Many of the prisoners in the unit are not only mentally ill, but also illiterate. Therapist Sharon Adams tutors them with sight games like Hangman to develop their vocabularies.
Well, see here, I get a, I. Not.
Is there a B in there?
This group's reading ability is at a preschool level.
Give me, A, B, C, D, E. Keep away.
No, you didn't keep away. You didn't say away. You didn't say away. You said keep away. Well, you got the first one. That works.
Oh, okay. O-M-T.
Philip Sullivan is the only prisoner in this class who is refusing to take his medication. His delusional behavior is worsening as a result.
Mr. Sullivan's delusions is getting bigger by the way he signs in. He will sign in delusional, Disciple Sullivan. He will sign himself, the light, and then saying he's turning into Jesus Christ. He's been there before more than once. He thinks he's Jesus Christ.
I'll suppose somebody could call me a prophet if they wanted to.
Delusions are a classic symptom of schizophrenia, the most commonly diagnosed mental illness in the psych unit. It's a disease that has both positive and negative symptoms.
The positive symptoms are the ones that people are more aware of in general. Hallucinations, delusions, generally disordered types of thinking. The negative symptoms are flat affect and withdrawal and just an isolation kind of approach. It can be anything from growling noises to barks of a dog to their mother's voice, some unknown female's voice, a male voice. There's just a whole variety.
Joseph Garner is a paranoid schizophrenic whose father sexually molested him at the age of 6.
My mother had left the home because she was being abused, so she left because of the violence, and then she didn't have any job or any money, so she left me behind. And when she did, then I remember it was about my bath time. I used to take a bath on Sundays to get ready for the school week. And he come in there and hopped in the tub with me, and he scooted me up closer to him behind, and then I didn't like that too much, so he scooted, put me in front, and then he would start scooting up on me, and I said no. I hollered that real quick because I used to call it doing the nasty, is what all I knew as a 6-year-old kid. And so I jumped out of the bathtub and ran for the bedroom, but he caught me before I got all the way in there, and that's when he molested me.
Joseph Garner suppressed this terrible memory for 30 years, until one day he exploded.
I slit his throat, that's how I killed him, and then I ate part of his brain. That's where I'm already famous from the 1995. It happened on December 26, 1995, and I made the national news and everything because I ate part of his brain. So that made the headlines, and so I'm probably the most famous person in here. It was my first kill. I don't know, I was crazy, I was insane, I didn't know what I was doing. Have a good one.
Over the years, many inmates had probably dreamed of escaping from Wabash Valley. But no one had ever succeeded in leaving before their time was up. No one until Randy Collins.
I'm only here because, as a superintendent, said that he was afraid of my mind, not so much that I was going to physically assault anyone, or that he didn't know what my next idea might be.
Collins is a former used car salesman turned cocaine trafficker from Indianapolis, and he's never been short of ideas. Ideas that have so tested the administration of the prison that he's been placed in the Secured Housing Unit, or SHU.
Randy's an interesting person. Probably one of the things that we can fear the most in criminal investigations and law enforcement officers is a criminal mind that is intelligent. They can be very dangerous. They're methodical and they plan things out. I would have to say that Randy is an intelligent person.
I know. That's why I'm here. I knew that you guys together would help me in whenever I'm
Let me cry on camera, Randy.
Yeah. It wasn't just that. You know I talk like that all the time.
I know.
Hey.
Always trying for that early release.
that I haven't gotten in the last night. Somehow I knew that was going to
Time for vacation again?
Yeah, it's time for another vacation. My hair's turning gray. There wasn't anybody else.
Randy's a regular at the weekly grievance hearings in the SHU. He likes to work the room.
Try to see if I can't work out some kind of maybe a detail job later on. I know there's one open on the next range over. I wonder if they've got anybody to take care of.
One.
I know.
Yeah.
Until I got that untimely postal.
You had that postal job.
Yeah, the
part-time postal job.
Yeah. So you know, but I.
The part-time postal job that Randy was running from his cell was fairly lucrative, until Internal Affairs Chief Don Tyler got on his trail.
Yes, Randy is always looking for a way to circumvent the system. He's always looking for a way to make his life much more comfortable here. And he discovered a way of having stamps sent in to him, and he was able to get a large quantity of stamps. And if you'll think about it, stamps could be like currency. Stamps or have a value to it.
You know, I don't want any more trouble. I just want to slide out, go home, mind my own business, and that's what I've been doing for the last, except for having too many stamps, that's what I've been doing for the last few years. You guys take it easy.
Did you ever tell them how many stamps you actually have?
No, I don't. $600 worth of stamps.
He recognizes the fact that he can't have them, and we're not going to let him have them.
Part of Randy Collins's problem is his neighbours. He doesn't find their company challenging enough.
So I applied my time with legal endeavors. I've been involved in a lot of legal, civil and criminal, both, court proceedings. I've achieved an associate's degree in business admin. I've got a paralegal certification. I've got over 600 certificates of completions of Bible studies, emergency management, anger control, substance abuse. Basically, there's nothing left for me to do. Now I'm really bored.
When Randy Collins gets bored, he starts thinking. Eventually, he managed to think his way out of prison.
Randy was able to facilitate his release by some of the shortcomings that we had in our communications between the courts and our paperwork here. We're all human. We can all make mistakes. Randy sought out our weaknesses and expanded upon them and actually engineered his own release.
Legally, I didn't escape. Statute says that a person unlawfully flees lawful detention, and that's not what occurred in my case. I was actually released, given gauge money, $75, and a card that said stamped released across the front of it, and I was escorted out to my car.
No one at Wabash Valley had ever achieved freedom before it was due, but Collins did just that. He was facing a 30-year sentence for running cocaine from Miami to Indiana, but somehow the official documentation from the court notifying the prisoner of his jail term was amended. Randy won't say how this happened, but it now read he was to serve just 10 years, with the remaining 20 years suspended. He then patiently served out the 10 years and was officially released.
What he was able to do was resubmit a sentencing document in his packet, which we followed up on and did in fact release him.
His guess was that I knew someone that I sold drugs to someone or that I knew someone that worked in the clerk's office. Because otherwise, without someone working in the clerk's office, the documents couldn't have had the court seal. And they did, and that's why they were taken as being legitimate.
Randy Collins denies that he had a plant in the court, and no one's ever proved that he did. But even Randy can't think of another way the scam could have worked.
No, I can't. No.
Sure about that?
I'm sure about that. I can't think of any other way other than someone in the clerk's office actually affixing the seal, conspiring with someone to affix the seal to those particular documents. I don't know who all has access to that particular seal.
I think Randy enjoyed himself immensely, and I think we owe him a debt of gratitude to a certain degree. He's heightened our alertness to this sort of thing, and we're going to see to it that it don't happen again.
Several hours after I was released, I was on a plane to Las Vegas. My wife and I were married the very next day. We stayed out there for 4 days and came back and went to a Reba McEntire concert, actually, after my arrival back to Indianapolis. And I have an older daughter that lives in this area, and she said that she had witnessed a TV story saying that I had escaped from the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility. And at that point, then I left the residence and we're staying other places for the 3 weeks until finally I was caught at my residence.
He has my attention because of his activities, yes. But do I consider him getting under my skin? No, he makes my job very interesting, and he makes it very challenging. Sometimes we deal with things in here that are what I call a sloppy criminal, and no, I enjoy working around Randy. I don't have any problems with him at all, trust me.
I'm sitting in here and see what some people went through, and I think to myself, why did I blow what I had? Because I had everything. Why did I blow? Look what they went through. What would I have done if I were in their shoes? I never thought that before. Now I think that. So I mean, it's just amazing some of the backgrounds that some people come from. I can understand why they committed some crimes. I can't understand why I did myself.
Brad Catt has fallen a long way from the very public stage he once strode as a county prosecutor in Indiana. He now lives surrounded by many of the people he helped to put behind bars.
When you first go into prison, especially because that I was a prosecutor, you're the enemy, which I understand that. And I would think the same if my prosecutor walked in the door. I would be not happy to see him, I'm sure. So when they first see you, they're skeptical. Is he in? Which side's he on? He's an inmate now, but how did you like it when you were causing people to be put in here?
Cat from library.
Brad Catt's life in prison is a world away from the jet-setting lifestyle he once enjoyed. Gone are the high-rolling jaunts to Las Vegas and the Caribbean. But he has also lost the respect of his community and his profession.
He's checking the books that I'm bringing in to make sure nothing's in it, and now they have to search me in the holding cell again.
The former county prosecutor's life was changed forever when he was sentenced in 1996 to 30 years imprisonment on multiple counts of forgery and theft. Catt's crime was stealing more than $700,000 US from his private practice clients. Brad Catt now works in the prison as a law library clerk. Today he's distributing books in the CCU unit, where inmates are locked down while they await disciplinary hearings.
Okay. Here's your 3 new ones. You're welcome. The hardest part is going to a prison with people that you actually personally prosecute. I mean, that's hard. You're apprehensive. You don't know how it's going to be. Because of the length of my sentence, I had to go to a level 4 facility. Well, initially put me in a level 4 facility for forgery, Class C felony, and D felony, multiple counts, in with people that I prosecuted for murder or whatever. It didn't make sense to anybody, but there was no choice.
There's not a day that goes by that Brad Catt doesn't regret the temptation that got the better of him.
It was like robbing Peter to pay Paul. They called, I'd steal from one account and then steal from another to pay back the first account. That's how I did it. And it just snowballed. I got to the point where I said enough's enough, and I just stopped doing it and planned on that was it. And that was it.
The former county prosecutor has been on a turbulent emotional journey as he's confronted the shame he feels about his crime.
My bad period was when I was getting arrested. But after I got that over with, it was a relief to me that that part was finally over. All the concealment, because my crime involved concealing it, all the concealment, all the lies that I had to conceal it for like a 3 or 4 year period. So after I got arrested and got this part started, I didn't have the depression periods that a lot of people have. Mine was before. Mine was before I got arrested. I tried to, kill myself in a car wreck, but that was the worst part.
Society may have turned its back on Brad Catt, but his family hasn't.
Why don't you have a seat in the second row, the third table back? Here, try these.
Go ahead. I had tremendous support from my family and a group of friends that stuck by me the whole time. I have probably average of 3 visits a week at least, more on holidays, so I have a lot of visits. Tonight's my mother. She never has missed since I've been in for 3 years now, even in federal prison when I was in Ashton, Kentucky, which is real far away. She never misses. She always brings different people with her, so I never know who exactly is going to be with her, but she always comes.
Visiting time is the most important part of Brad Catt's week, and the closest he ever comes to contact with the outside world.
Yeah, I hear her. She's singing. Well, Kayla, it's her teeth.
Wow.
Braces. Oh, got them off. Good. I'm still going to eat.
Okay, you ready? You want to eat now? Yeah. We have to eat before we do anything else.
One of the best parts about the visiting room is the food.
Chicken wings?
Yep. My favorite in here is the hot chicken wings. I generally eat a couple of them each time I visit, or if there's something else good, but I like Mountain Dews, which we can't order on commissary, so I always try to get the things in here that we can't get otherwise, but the chicken wings are probably everybody's favorite. We're not allowed to handle the money, but we can handle the food, so your visitor has to handle the money, get the items for you, and then we can cook them ourselves. So they know if I don't come and get something to eat right when I get here, something's wrong. Anything that messes with your visit, forgetting to call you out, or anything that interferes with that really upsets an inmate. That's one of the prime things in here.
Got your favorite?
Got my favorite.
Brian can't come Sunday. Sunday. Do you want Carnita to come ahead on Sunday? To wait till the next Sunday. Just want to be sure.
Brad Catt has more visits than any other inmate in the prison, and they're his social highlight. They help to maintain his emotional balance.
Y'all stuck together.
That's what families do here, is stick together. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but if you don't, you're in trouble.
Thank you, sir.
I think visits should be, primary importance, not just for the inmates, but for the institution itself, because that's what keeps people connected. If they leave with no hope, then it's more likely they're going to be right back here. Look, he's making fun of you. He's making fun of you. He's making fun of you.
The radical turnaround in Brad Catt's fortunes, from putting people in prison to being imprisoned himself, has altered his attitudes towards sentencing forever.
You have a view of the society wanting to punish people, longer sentences, better sentences. I used to think 10-year sentence wasn't that long. Now I know it's an eternity. I would think different of recommending a 20-year sentence for someone or something now that I know what 20 years really is. A year in prison is nothing what I thought it was. It's a lot longer. A year in prison is, I would have never dreamed, is as long as it is.
Got nobody to lean on. I ain't got nobody, man. I tried, man. I'm just small, I can't carry. Sometimes I want to cut myself. I ain't never told you that. Man, I'm tired, man.
It's been a long time since you've done that, too.
It's been 13, 14, 8 years. I don't want to do it no more, man. I'm trying to show y'all I can get out of here in peace.
Yeah, you've shown us.
Double murderer Brian Griggs is a paranoid schizophrenic. He's just one of the 38 mentally disturbed inmates housed in the facility's residential treatment unit, K Block.
But my mom, man, she shouldn't do me like this, man. My brother shot his son and killed his son. He blew his neck off. And I shoot 2 people and she hates me. But she don't hate him because he killed his son. She don't hate him. I called her and she cussed me out. Told me to stop calling. Told me to stop calling. She don't want to hear from me no more. Stop writing her.
Everybody out there have a party.
For most of these folks, their difficulties have been ignored mostly throughout their lives. They've not had anyone consider them, say, as anything other than a criminal. The crimes are largely irrelevant to the reason they were placed on the unit. Their mental illness is the primary criteria. Now, there also is another expectation that they are in need of maximum security confinements.
The book is Easy to Read and it's truly amazing.
The war inside Brian Griggs' head began when he was just 15 years old. He says he heard voices telling him he was the devil and began mutilating himself.
And I was real suicidal. I wanted to die. I just did this when I was 15. Some of these cuts came from like this cut, this cut, and that cut, and that right there I did when I was 15.
Diagnosed at 15 as a paranoid schizophrenic, Brian Griggs has been fighting those voices ever since. His illness makes him feel as if there are 2 personalities and 2 voices constantly at war in his head.
So I tell the voices, I come back to myself, I say, hey voice, now you listen here to me, I'm talking, this Griggs, I'm talking to Brian is the voice, so you know, Brian is my first name. I got a twin that look like me on the street, and I got a twin in me. That's Brian. Brian is my twin. Griggs is his supposed, you know, someone I trying to explain the best I can. But Brian be telling Griggs what to do. And Griggs be trying kind of weak.
As he battled his demons, Griggs turned to drug trafficking to earn some fast money. This proved to be his downfall when his girlfriend got designs on his money and hired a hitman.
She got me whooped when this dude hit me in the jaw. With her with a cutter, and I got it in my mouth. Dude hit me in the jaw with a 30 and broke my jaw over because she had paid the student to whoop me. When I came to the house, well, I got my coat on, her mother shot me in the arm with a 22, and it came out on the side, and she shot me in the leg with a 38, and they was taking my money. You know, I had plenty of money. I had like $26,000 in the bank. Plus, I had 2 cars. I had my own house, paid for my own house, paid for my own cars. A lot of things happened between us. You know, they shot me, and I shot them and cut their head off and put it in the microwave.
Griggs was initially placed in solitary confinement in the SHU. But after 2.5 years, his mental problems were recognized, and he was transferred here to the psych unit for intensive treatment.
Some people who were in the SHU who were highly assaultive and could not be communicated with, they were self-injurious. They've had just remarkable turnarounds. on the right medicine, reteaching the social skills, and doing the psychotherapy and rehab groups with these folks has really given them the chance to turn their lives around in prison.
Griggs is now allowed to work in the prison kitchen alongside other prisoners. This is part of the psych unit's program of stabilising prisoners' mental health to the point where they can eventually be allowed back into the general prison population.
The job is real good. It gets me off the joint. When I'm upset at something, it makes that upsetness, that emotion what I have, it makes it go away because I can move steel parts. I can mop the floor and get that madness all off me. I love my job. You want to talk now, Carl?
Well, it's cold outside, you know. It's cold out there.
A crucial figure in Brian Griggs's life is Carl Wigginton.
Got 20, 25 minutes in that cold out there.
You was freezing your ass off. Yeah, freezing. You cold. Got your cold. Yeah. You cold, man. Yeah, I'm cold. All of a sudden, I met Carl. That's all I needed to meet. He told me that he cared. He helped me. He advised me. And I listened to him. And he's a good dude. The dude is real good. I want everybody to know this. He's a real good person. I love him. I love him like a female. I love him like he's a female, and sometimes I'm the female. We versus. He's one and I'm one, cause I go both ways and he go both ways. So we both our relationship based on understanding. We're happy.
Carl Wigginton is also a murderer. He shot an accomplice when they fell out over a drug deal.
Well, it was over some dope deal. When I was on the street, I was doing some dope, and I messed up and got angry with him because he had struck at me, and I went and grabbed my gun out of my leather suede jacket and shot him twice in the head.
Catholic bishop's supposed to come and see us, I guess, when we go over to Mass. The bishop comes on Christmas Day.
Like Griggs, the voices in Carl's head have a deadly message.
It's like a different voice. It's a total different voice. It's not my voice. You know, it tries to get me to hurt myself, you know, and says, well, you ain't gonna never get out of prison. You ain't gonna never get out of prison, so you might as well just go and kill yourself. That's what they tell me. So I just had to turn the radio on or something, you know, turn the music on or something and block the sounds out of my head, you know, and because it comes through my ears and stuff, so when I put the music on, it blocks it out.
2:20, about time for the goal. Want me to walk you out through the door?
Carl Wigginton is sentenced to prison until the year 2053. He says that his relationship with Griggs helps him to cope with this reality.
Chad, what's his name?
Snake.
Hey, Snake. I'll let you tomorrow, man. No, he ain't.
I'm here at 6 o'clock. I'm just going to say goodbye to him.
I didn't want to be alone. I wanted somebody that I could love and care for, just like I was out on the street. And I found that in prison. It's very, very important relationship. I really love the guy. I really like him. We become friends and lovers, and you know, it kind of made me feel like, you know, I wasn't going to have to do this time alone.
Maintaining a relationship behind bars is difficult enough, but when both partners are paranoid schizophrenics, it can create an emotional time bomb that can go off without warning.
Yeah, I'll be in about 6 o'clock. I'll be in about 6.
We're going to take a shot.
Yeah, we're going to take a shot.
When somebody's having emotional upheaval, the number one thing I do is just listen, give them somebody to talk to. A lot of times, you know, the human brain repairs itself in a lot of cases, and if you just give it a process to go through, you know, that binning process is healing in and of itself, knowing that somebody else is there to listen, who cares, and can lend a supportive ear.
This is what Griggs needs at the moment. he's suddenly become paranoid about his relationship with Carl.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
Man, God has some complicated problems. You know what it's about. I'm hurting. And I'm tired of hurting over this dude. And he wanted space. He wanted space. Opportunity, I'm gonna give him his space. I want to quit that job. I want to go back all the way to phase 1.
So once again, you're giving him his opportunity at your expense.
Talk me out of it. You talk me out of it. Talk to me, man.
And it has nothing to do with the job, does it?
No, it ain't got nothing to do with the job with me. It's just me and Carl having a feud right now, and I just don't want to be around him. I want to give him space, man. As long as I'm around him, I'm going to be heartbroken and stuff, and it's
okay.
He told me that I'm around him 24 hours a day, and he wants his freedom. Now, I just like being around them, man. I don't want nobody over there bothering me. See, they was over there today. They had a knife. They was gonna get in the fight and freezing and stuff.
You've been protecting him for a long time.
I don't want them carrying them off in the freezer, raping them or hurting them. So I try to protect him.
Well, it's about time you started doing things for Brian, isn't it?
Man, I can't, man. I just can't.
That's where we gotta go.
But I've been doing for peoples, man. I've been doing for a lot of peoples, man, and I feel to keep doing, man.
Yeah, and when you gonna start doing for you?
And I can't do for me, man. I just can't do for me. I'm tired of doing for me, man. I'm tired. I don't know, man. I feel something gonna happen, man. I'm sorry. I feel something gonna happen, man. I mean, I'm killing myself. I feel if the voices don't make me end up killing myself, Carl gonna make me kill myself over him. No, sometimes I feel I'm losing.